Hurricane Katrina was devastating for the city of New Orleans, but its impact on cattle and citrus in Plaquemines Parish changed those industries.
As Twilight's Neil Melanson tells us, it didn't wipe it out, but it permanently reduced agriculture in the southeasternmost part of Louisiana.
The night before Hurricane Katrina came ashore, people in southeast Louisiana knew it would be bad. Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser remembers that night well.
I rode it out 14 miles from the eye. I don't recommend it, but I had a riding center for special needs children. We had 20-something specially trained horses. I had nowhere to bring them. I wasn't leaving them. I brought them over to my house, built on a mountain of mud 6 foot over the Mississippi River, and saw water come through my bricks. My hurricane shutters bent in, blew the doors open. But the next morning, walking out and seeing nothing but water, my knees buckled. I fell to my knees.
The devastation in Plaquemines Parish pushed Nungesser into public service, becoming parish president the next year. He wanted to represent constituents like Earl Armstrong, who lost almost 2,000 head of cattle in Katrina, their bodies lining roadsides and marshes.
He said, Billy, the only cattle to survive Katrina were on that ridge. I said, so what? He said, it was pumped before Hurricane Betsy. We got to quit building marsh. We got to build land, forested ridges. It'll lower storm surge and it'll be there after a hurricane. So that's when we went back and developed a plan to build ridges and islands outside the levees in Plaquemines. But Earl and many volunteers rescued hundreds and hundreds of animals, cattle.
2 people lost their life when the storm came ashore, but the widespread destruction affected the lives of the parish forever. Patrick Becknell Jr. was 12 during Katrina. He says back then, all of this used to be planted in citrus trees.
This entire place from right here, straight across and all the way to that white cross was sections of satsuma. It was about 4 different varieties of satsuma trees, mature orchard. They were about, at Katrina's time, they were probably 20, 25 years old. All the way to the back, it probably totaled about 1,500 trees.
While the storm didn't immediately kill off the citrus industry in the parish, for many it was the beginning of the end. The storm brought pests and diseases, especially where people had abandoned their properties.
Kind of shot us in the foot because their groves became cesspools for bugs and disease that later on would affect us. And it's kind of trickled down. Now those have kind of weaned out. Nobody wants to do it. It's only a few of us really left that still want to do it. But yet the damage was kind of done then, and we're just trying to pick up the pieces now.
Becknell says now, 20 years later, agriculture as a whole in the parish is a shadow of what it once was.
After this last snowstorm we had, I think that was the nail in the coffin for a lot of us here. Now, hopefully, now that most people's abandoned orchards or their trees they really weren't taken care of, now that snow and freeze kind of killed them, hopefully it gives us a little bit more of a buffer zone like we had after Katrina, to where even though the problem's not going to go away, but yet we might have a chance to kind of make up some lost ends and try to come back a little bit, but I don't ever see it coming back to what it was 20, 30 years ago.
The eye wall of Katrina passed due north in this part of Plaquemines Parish, passing this way, and with it bringing winds and water that devastated the industries of this area, including oil and gas, citrus, and cattle that never truly recovered from 2005. Reporting from Port Sulphur in Plaquemines Parish, I'm Neil Melanson.
Thanks so much, Neil. Between Katrina and the last census of agriculture, Plaquemines Parish has lost more than a quarter of the number of farms it had, which is greater than the overall population decline in the same area.